Hello, everyone, and welcome back to He Makes Me Play. I'm Marius, and I'm blind. I cannot see, and so I make other people play. And today I'm here again with Vincent in the Wayhaven Chronicles. Hello, Vincent.
Hello, Marius.
Yes, I was almost about to say welcome to Wayhaven, because that's where we are right now, with the world's greatest bald detective, as we have. We never forget to proclaim Detective Langford. Whom we are playing. Last time we assembled our secret task force unit Bravo, or rather it was assembled and we were assigned to it by none other than our mother. And we also shot a guy, but it's okay. It was just a shoulder wound.
And he might be a supernatural being, so...
Yes, I forgot to say it's a group of vampires, apparently, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Yes. We don't know what exactly yet.
Anyway, if you want to hear about that, watch the last episode. Why are you listening to me? Let's get into it. What do we have to do, Vincent?
So we are still standing in our office. We have just met Unit Bravo, and our mother is leaving.
Right.
And
Thank God.
Wasn't that?
We had a tense relationship with her, remember?
Yeah. Don't touch me, Mum. And the last line is, shaking away the strange moment, I decide where to begin briefing Unit Bravo. And we can explain about the victim, about the nature of the crime, what Verda discovered, or finally about the limited resources available.
Okay, here we decide what kind of leader we are, right?
Yeah.
So this is interesting. Like, we have been assigned to a unit of vampires. I guess Langford doesn't know that they're vampires, though. It's kind of obvious, but officially she doesn't know, right?
Yes, she has a weird feeling about one of them, where she's sort of kind of suspecting that
he was
she
so
shot...
strong and stuff. And
exactly.
we have, that's right, that's actually important. We're not quite sure, although we as players know Adam, I think was his name, is like the vampire. Langford doesn't know that.
Exactly.
Kira doesn't.
She just has suspicions.
Assuming these are just, in quotes, just secret agents, how would a small town detective deal with this? So maybe talk about the victim.
The question is, what do we actually know? What can we tell them about the victim or the nature of the crime?
Yeah, here's the thing, Vincent. Because of how the story was told, I know nothing about the victim, but it was like top of the list while we were investigating this crime scene. So let's just find out about
the victim
here, along with Unit Bravo.
If she's gonna... Man, if this is gonna be another one of those... I don't really know anything about it, but here's what I know.
Our victim is Lisa Smith.
Yeah, hey, at least then we get something. So let's go that way. Explain about the victim. I stand behind my desk, pulling out the very thin file on the victim. Oh, God, no.
Oh, I believe that. I believe that it's thin.
When I glance up, I find the group have already settled themselves about the room.
Okay. I bet the young, sarcastic one has like one of her legs over the armrest of a chair.
Course. And then there's...
It's 100% what's happening here.
There's also the one that stands in the darkest corner.
Yes, smoking. Although it's against like fire codes. But that's the scene, right?
Exactly.
What's Nate doing? Probably complaining about how the chair is not comfortable. Okay. So I'm glad we're on the same page, Vincent.
Have already settled themselves about the room. Their casualness together makes me feel very much like the newcomer, but I brush the feeling away and straighten myself. The victim was a young woman, I begin. The only one who really seems to pay attention is Nate. We're still working to discover her identity, but it seems likely she was not from Wayhaven.
Okay.
Cause of death is also still unknown. Shock, Adam says suddenly from where he stands looking out the window. I glance over at him, raising a brow. Excuse me? She will have died from shock, he repeats, not bothering to look at me as he speaks.
What a smart ass.
Yeah. Can you die from shock? I guess, if your heart stops, right?
Well, I mean, shock is sort of a medical term, I think, which I totally know, but I'm not going to define now.
Okay.
But it's like it affects you in sort of a major way that I can attest to.
But it's not an electrical shock. Probably.
Not an electrical shock. I don't think that's what he means. But regardless of, I mean, he could have said it was a bullet wound, a bullet killed her. Doesn't matter. It's the way he says it that is so smug. It's like shock. Oh, okay. And now you expect, obviously, us to ask, what do you mean by that? He could have just explained it.
I mean, honestly,
now we have to ask.
I first thought he was just sarcastically saying that he's shocked that we don't know. But apparently that's the cause of death. Yeah, okay. We go on. Well, I think I'll wait until our pathologist gives me a report, just in case. It is my first murder, after all. I turn my attention back to the file. We did manage to find the victim's phone, which my colleague, Tina Poname?
Yes, that's her name, Vincent. Don't make fun of it.
It's a weird name, but okay. Is currently working through. As for the murder itself, we already know about the murder, Adam says, twisting himself around to face me fully.
Man, this guy has an attitude problem.
Yes. But then again, we shot him, so it's understandable.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
I grit my teeth at the repeated interruptions. Still, I would like to go through all the facts before continuing, so as we are all on the same page. As I said, this is my first murder case. I would like to be prepared. He crosses his arms in response, his biceps stretching the sleeves of his t-shirt to the point I fear it will tear. We can handle this. This isn't our first murder, detective.
Oh, I can hardly contain myself.
Get it together.
Adam is a bad boy. Bad boy with
Hands
an
on the
attitude and an authority problem.
My title drips from his tongue like he's appeasing a 5-year-old. There have already been multiple kills related to the target. And we can respond with number 1. Then maybe you should go investigate those instead. Number 2. We have to work as a team, me included. Number 3. Kills? Target? You are treating this like a mission instead of an investigation. Number 4. I won't let you railroad me into rushing through this. And number 5. Please, can we just work together on this?
Interesting. Vincent, what are your thoughts?
I'm still surprised that he's... I mean, I don't remember exactly what our mother said, but the idea is that we are in charge of this murder case and the unit Bravo is supposed to help us.
Yes, but they're not doing much helping so far.
No, so far he's basically saying... You suck, and we should do this ourselves, and you can sit here and do the paperwork.
Yeah. So, I mean, just so I get the facts straight, he's saying there are already other kills related to the target. By target, he means this still unnamed victim that we have discovered. Presumably, he knows other victims, but we don't. Is this the case?
I think the target in this case is the murderer.
Okay. When he says related... I took that to mean familial relations. When he now says related, what is the relation? And the relation of being killed by does not that does not count. It's not a relation.
I think that is the relation. There have already been multiple kills related to this target.
Okay, that he means basically
they are connected.
This guy has killed others.
Exactly.
That's what we know. Okay, and obviously Kira doesn't know that.
I mean, we know that there have been more than one kill by this murderer. But I think our mother said that,
Oh, okay. Fine. Right. But we don't know any of the details about those.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's the reason why she appeared and she gave us Unit Bravo. That's explanation.
I mean, you're right. I know that there are other kills. It's just I'm trying to get straight what we as players know, what does Kira know. And that was just to establish facts. Now, this is sort of a team management problem, an attitude problem. And this is now about finding the right tone and how to respond to this guy. And I'm leaning towards the I won't let you rush me through this.
I like this,
because that is very determined and authoritative without being, bossy, just for the sake of being the boss,
Yeah.
which is actually a form of weakness, which would be the other more confrontational options here, and options that really make this whole problem about us and how we don't feel good and we are not comfortable with this situation, which is a form of weakness and not leadership. And what we want to do is, I think, to keep our eyes on the prize, okay? And like just do what is best for the case and best to help the victim and her family. Look at me, I'm talking like this is a real thing. But that's why we're saying, what was it? Yeah, we'll let you railroad me.
Exactly, yeah.
You agree?
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. I like the idea that we're playing this multiple choice book and we won't let them railroad us. This is our story.
This is some kind of meta commentary on the form here.
Yeah. So I won't let you railroad me into rushing through this. I let out a calm breath, close my eyes for a moment, then snap them open. I will not let you railroad me into rushing through this investigation. Maybe not rushing, Farah adds, but our leader does like to be hastily efficient. She lets out a snigger of laughter, though Adam only arches a blonde brow at my statement. Adam stares at me, his eyes slightly narrowed, though apparently in inspection rather than anger. As I stare back at him, holding my ground, I feel an odd tension course through my limbs at our held gaze. At first, I figure it's guilt from interrupting him, but when the options are number one.
Vincent, can you just shoot him again?
Oh, I hope so.
That would be the most appropriate thing here.
But I don't think so.
No, okay. What are the options? Also, are we being glamored? Is this his attempt at mind controlling us, but we're resisting because we have the parasitic virus in our blood?
Possibly.
Yes.
I feel an odd tension course through my limbs at our held gaze. Yes.
Right? Why would she bring that up otherwise?
Good
Or
point.
is it just the obvious sexual tension
yes,
between
that's
these two?
true. Yeah, absolutely. Well, maybe we can decide that.
Yeah.
So, options. Number one, so it says, at first I figure it's guilt from interrupting him, but then, and then the option one, it makes a knot tight in my stomach. I realize it really is guilt.
No, that's nonsense.
Number two, it makes my hands ball into fists. I realize it's annoyance.
Yeah, that's believable.
Number three, it makes my stomach flutter and knees slightly weak. I worry it's something else entirely.
No, Kira, not in this situation. That needs a little bit more. You need to let that pot stew for a while, okay? We need to see sort of the nice and softer side of Adam as well, if we're going to go down this road.
Okay,
I'm not saying I'm against it,
yes,
but like... And honestly, just so far, Tina has been so useful. We can't ignore that part. She did the whole lab thing for us.
Yeah.
She like comforts us and stuff. Honestly, like, okay, we'll get to the romance part when it comes up. But see, I want to just say annoyance.
There are more options. Number
I'm
four.
sorry, Vincent. Please go on.
Good. It makes my skin heat. I know it's something else entirely.
Oh, is that the magic option? The glamour? My skin heat.
I think it's just a stronger option 3, basically. 3 is I worry it's something else entirely, and number 4 is I know it's something else entirely.
Okay, I see.
And then the last option, it disappears. I realize I don't have the energy to deal with this ego now.
Okay.
So guilt, annoyance, something else entirely.
I vote for annoyance.
Yeah.
It just seems the most believable in this situation.
When the tension makes my shoulders tight and my hands ball into fists at my sides, I realize it's annoyance. How dare he try to assert authority over me in my own office? Eventually, his gaze flickers away, his inspection apparently complete and uninterested in whatever he found. I have to purse my lips to keep my anger from spilling out. Can we just get on with the job now? Morgan asks, interrupting the silence.
Yeah,
She
good call, Morgan.
Fumbles in the pocket of her jeans before drawing out a gleaming silver lighter.
Right, I forget that these people are all super casual.
Then perching a long cigarette between her lips. And we can say, of course, option number 1, I'm sorry, but you can't smoke in here.
Nice.
Number 2, put that out. Number 3, we point towards the no smoking sign hanging right beside her. Or number 4, ignore her. And I remind you, when we had the option to follow the rules and not bring coffee into the lab, we ignored it.
I know. We have not been established as a stickler for the rules.
Are we the only one above the law?
She's doing the same thing he is, just in a different way. Like, we need to establish some ground rules here, or this cooperation is not going to work. But, I mean, we can still go about it in, like, a clever way. Like, it's giving us several options on how to point it out, right? And maybe it's tough. Vincent, what are the options again? Because I thought pointing at the sign is the way to go, but that's sort of weak because it's like you're deferring authority to someone else. It's like, who's in charge here, Kira? Like, do you not agree with the rules? Is that sign your boss? Like, no. Well, what were the other ones, Vincent?
I'm sorry, but you can't smoke in here. Put that out. Point towards the sign.
We were annoyed before. Maybe now we just let it out with put that out. Just, show forth.
I like that. Yeah.
You're into it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Put that out, I command, gesturing to the cigarette. She stares at me for a moment before flicking open the lighter. A small flame sparks to life, searing the end of the cigarette and making it glow red. She inhales deeply, holding my gaze, before puffing out a long stream of grey smoke.
They don't respect us at all.
This is the team my mother is so proud of? I scoff at the thought.
Yeah.
She can keep them. Adam's arms drop to his sides. Morgan's right. We should get on with the task at hand, rather than discussing details we already know. And we can say, number 1, actually, I think it would be good to make sure we know the same facts. Number 2, I suppose if that's what you think is best.
No.
Number 3, excuse me, but I'm in charge of this investigation.
Yeah.
And number 4, these details could reveal something important.
She just lets the cigarette go. That's not okay, because
I agree completely.
Now that we've said put that out, you have to follow through.
You can't ignore it now.
No. Now you have to be like, look, there are extinguishers. If they go off, like, all the computers get wet and, like, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
Ma'am, if you really must smoke, I will accompany you outside. We can continue this briefing there. But, right, it's something like that needs to happen. You need to follow this with action, Kira.
Also, can I just say, I'm so annoyed at Adam because he was the one that derailed this entire process. And now he says, oh yeah, Morgan's right. We should totally get back to now that he lost the staring contest.
Yeah, hold on. Else. But he's also saying there's no point in discussing facts we already know, basically.
That's true.
And it's just keeping us out of the loop. And okay, we have to put a pin in the smoking thing. The game won't let us pick that back up. It's okay. But I don't feel like saying, like, continuously reasserting yourself here will not be helpful. Saying I'm in charge. No, you've said enough. Like, it's like, if you're going to go down that route, it's time for action. So the only good alternative I see here is to just really focus on the case, which is fine. That's why we're all here, after all. And I think number 1 is, like, the most neutral, right? It's like, oh, I think we should all know the same facts.
Yeah.
Let's pick that.
Yeah. Also, it's opposing Adam again. Actually, I think it would be good to make sure.
But not for the point of opposing him, right?
No, but for the matter of we should talk about these details, Adam.
Yeah.
You think you're so smart, but
also, like, I as a player, I want to know some fucking facts, man. So talk about it.
All right, next. Actually, I begin. I think it would be good to make sure we all know the same facts. But my words aren't even heard as Adam begins barking out orders to his team members. His suggestions are to check out newcomers to town, search any unused locations around the borders, and interrogate, not interview, anybody who may have seen what happened. The group rises from their places like dogs eager to follow his command. Enough is enough. Click next. I step out from around my desk and plant my feet firmly on the floor. You cannot just barrel in here and crash about town in the hopes of finding a deranged murderer hiding out there somewhere. My voice is louder and more commanding than I expected, making even Douglas glance up from the front desk and tense. The tall, broad-shouldered leader turns slowly to face me, seeming once again more curious than angered. Following my lead is the only way we'll catch the killer. And we can respond with, working with me is the only way you will catch him. I know this town. You don't.
That is the only advantage I could think of. Please continue. What else?
Number 2, obviously not, seeing as you haven't caught him yet.
Well, she has a point.
I like that. Number 3, you may be leader of your team, but I'm the leader of this station.
This is true.
Is it though? I don't.
I think there was a higher up, but like the mayor or police chief. I don't know. This is unclear, but I do believe her. She does seem in charge of the station.
Sure. Yeah. Number 4, this is an investigation, not a witch hunt. And number 5, let's all just take a breather for a second.
Some team building exercise.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you just turn around and you let yourself fall backwards and I catch you, we could get off on the right foot here.
Yeah. Maybe
build some trust.
Go climbing together or something. I don't know.
Go on a company retreat. We're not taking that. That's it, though.
That's the 5 options.
Okay, not ideal. I like number 1 or 2. 2 was you haven't found him yet, right?
Yeah, but it's weirdly, unnecessarily aggressive, I think.
It's kind of snappy and sarcastic, but at this point, it might be appropriate the way they're behaving.
Yeah,
it might be the only way to get to him at this point.
Also,
he's not going to be impressed with us knowing the town.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's more about him being like just not doing a good job because he hasn't caught the murderer.
Yeah, like attack him directly.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take it. I'm in an aggressive mood, Vincent.
Obviously not, seeing as you haven't caught him yet. I cock a hip and place a hand on it. Well, obviously not.
Cock your gun, Kira. Come on, do it.
Do it again.
No warning. Any questions? Put that cigarette out, Morgan.
Yeah, you want some too? Well, obviously not, seeing as you haven't caught him yet. I notice Farah grin in amusement behind Adam, but try to keep my focus trained on their leader. Adam's lips tighten only a fraction of an amount. Okay. But I know I've finally pressed his buttons as much as he's pushed mine.
Are you ticklish? Maybe in the belly?
Who's a good boy?
Whoa, this dynamic changed fast.
Well, maybe he's werewolf. So, a heavy silence reigns over the office once again, and I'm thankful when Nate steps into the center of the room.
These vampires are not sensitive to garlic or crucifixes. It's tickles how to get them.
Tickles and authoritative figures.
They literally never stop laughing. They just giggle into eternity.
Yeah,
it's their one weakness.
Mm-hmm. What's the D&D spell? Otto's.
Irresistible laugh of, I think. No, Otto has the dance.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
it's Tasha's laughter. I
think.
Hideous
exactly.
laughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the tickle spell.
It's very effective.
Yeah. Anyway, funny jokes. What's still going on with
a heavy silence reigns over the office once again, and I'm thankful when Nate steps into the center of the room, like some kind of referee during a boxing match.
Why is he not the leader of their group? He's so much more, actual authority.
Yeah,
projecting.
I guess he's just too. I mean, he seems just too lazy to do it. But
yeah, maybe sometimes people just seem that way, but then they just never get anything done. Maybe he's a major procrastinator.
Could be, yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe he is the actual leader and Adam is just the front man.
Oh, it's like Adam is his prodigy, like he's training Adam. Not prodigy, that's the wrong word.
Maybe, yeah, or he just lets it seem like Adam is the leader, so he gets all the heat, like now.
He's the power behind the throne.
And Nate is the actual one, yes.
All right, let's talk to Nate, can we?
Well, he's talking to us.
I forget what kind of game this is. Sorry, Vincent.
Where are my skills?
Our possibility cone is slightly narrower here.
We are a large group, he says, resting a hand on Adam's shoulder, as though bringing him out of silent thoughts. Certainly large enough to split our resources. He looks at me, smiling, and giving a nod of encouragement. What do you suggest we do, detective?
Aha.
The hostility in the team's leader posture settles, reminding me of a bird, combing ruffled feathers, and he spins away from me.
Huh.
I let out a subtle, calming breath and lean back against my desk, thinking over my options.
It's an interesting picture, comparing him to a bird.
Yeah, maybe he's...
Birds ruffle their feathers, right? Getting their feathers ruffled. That's like an expression for like, what does that mean? When birds want to seem authoritative and make themselves big?
Yeah,
that's what's
bigger
going on.
and less attractive as victims.
Right, yeah.
Also, now I'm thinking, is there a better image for this that also evokes the image of a vampire? Like I'm thinking,
birds aren't very vampiric. She had so many dog and cat like metaphors and comparisons. So the bird seems like, whoa, a totally different part of the animal kingdom.
But the closest thing to a vampire would be a bat, and they don't really like. I don't know how they behave. Basically,
bats suck blood.
Oh yes,
vampire facts for you.
If you know more vampire facts, tell us in the comments.
Actually, this is a little segment we like to call Bat Facts. And Vincent, did you know that I actually, in the room in my apartment, outside of it, I have bats in the wall.
Still?
Always. I can hear them at night. Because here's a bat fact for you. Bats are nocturnal, Vincent.
No.
And that's when they're most active.
Really?
Yes, and did you know that bats can consume up to 300 mosquitoes per second?
How much is this in their body weight?
It's probably not true. Probably not per second. But like a totally major number. I should have just said that and let it hang there and then have someone correct me in the comments.
They can unhinge their jaws like snakes and then just fly through.
Actually, Marius, that's not physically possible. The bat jaw would have to move at light speed and the bat would start to combust spontaneously, just like a vampire who sees the sun.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
I forget what was going on, Vincent.
We can agree. Birds, ruffled feathers.
We were talking about the bird metaphor, yeah.
An interesting choice.
I don't even know what she's trying to say here. It's just about Adam is posturing. That's the point,
yes.
Right? Okay.
And somehow that's related to birds.
What can we say? Because this is our point. This is the point, I think, where we have some input on how do we actually want to handle this team. The posturing is over.
Yeah. So we can suggest going to talk to Verda.
Ah, yeah.
We can suggest going over the crime scene now that the techs are gone. Or suggest talking to the witness Tina managed to find. So Verda, crime scene,
okay.
Witness.
I kind of want the witness. How do you feel? I mean, Verda, that's cool. That's progress. I eventually want to do that, definitely. But we've kind of heard a little bit already about the whole blood situation. It's just not that interesting. I don't expect much more to come from there. But we've never heard any description of the killer, so I want the witness.
I kind of agree with you, but I also wonder how they will react to the whole this is mutant or mutated blood thing, which I think they haven't heard from us.
But that has to come up eventually, right? The game's
I
not
would
going
assume
to
so, yeah.
close that branch.
So let's go the normal police officer way first.
For
and
now,
talk to a
yeah.
witness.
It's true that this is our only strength in this group, right? We know the town. We know the people. Maybe we meet another wonderful resident of Wayhaven, which I'm also curious about. So let's do that.
And they have probably seen the crime scene anyway. So
yeah, the crime scene investigating, I don't have high hopes, honestly.
No. There's still that wall that we haven't looked at, and I think that's about it.
No, I mean, maybe it will be totally revealing. I don't know, but we're doing the witness.
Yeah. I would suggest talking with the witness Tina managed to find, I say, sitting back on my desk. Then I will go with you, Nate offers, and the rest can go with Adam too. Farah steps forward between us. I think it was crash about town, she says, repeating my words from earlier and gaining a stern glare from Nate.
Crash about town? Did we say that?
Did we?
I don't remember, but we might have.
Yeah, maybe while we were confronting Adam.
Okay.
I run a hand over my head. The ball.
I love that that's coming up.
Yeah. I wonder if it's always saying that, or is that normally I run a hand over my hair?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see on our second playthrough.
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea. We can all meet back here in a few hours. Both Nate and I turn to look at Adam, who remains silent for a moment. Eventually, he gives a stiff nod. Fine, but take Morgan with you. What? Morgan barks out the word, almost falling from her makeshift seat on the side table. Adam looks at her. You are best with witnesses. He trails off, a meaning behind his words I'm obviously not allowed to understand. Morgan groans and rolls her eyes before pushing herself up and moving towards Nate. We'll meet back here in a few hours then, Adam says.
All right.
And that is that. He strides out of my office, followed closely behind by Farah, looking like some strange type of entourage.
Okay. So we're going with Nate and Morgan to talk to the witness. That's what's happening.
And
okay.
We leave them to destroy our town.
Crash about town, whatever that means. Go board the lorry tram and ride around.
Exactly.
We have to remember here, these guys are secretly assigned by our mother to protect us because we're honestly like the next target for the killer, right?
And you think that's why we have two guards now with us?
Definitely. That's what this was about. And it's also, that makes like going out a little bit more interesting, right? Because every time we do, I kind of want to know what happens when Kira is in danger, right? That's good drama.
Yeah. Also, I think the whole witness thing is probably meaning that she is the best with the glimmer ability of manipulating people, right?
Good point. Yeah, let's see if we can glimmer, or what's the right word? I think in True Blood they call it glamour, I think.
Glamour? Yeah, glamour.
Glimmer is like what you put on clothes. Right? No, glimmer is like
that's
what's left after a fire if it's still a little bit glimmering, right?
Sure.
I think so. Leave a comment explaining English to us.
Yes. Well, that meeting probably could have gone better, I mutter quietly. I jump in surprise when it seems Nate heard what I mumbled. He chuckled softly, half smiling at me. It went better than most meetings Adam has. I return the smile, all the intensity of the moments before draining away with Nate's apparently much calmer presence. I'm sorry about Adam. We don't often work with others, and I don't think he's too worried about improving his social etiquette when we do. And we can say, number one, don't worry about it. Number two, I wasn't exactly very professional in how I acted either.
Not true, we were totally professional.
Yes, we were very good at it.
We did our best.
And he acted like a bird. Number three, it's not you who needs to be sorry for his actions. Number four, don't worry. I'm pretty ashamed of how I acted too. And number five, I was expecting professionals from a government team.
Yeah, that's kind of the right one. I want to take that one.
I like it. I let out a sharp breath. I was expecting more professionalism from a government team.
It is very surprising, right? The mom, the secret agent, and this is her team, just a bunch of guys in jeans.
Yeah, and like the first, like, again, we were assigned as the temporary, not team leader, but sort of leader of this whole operation.
Yeah.
And the first thing they do is question our authority and question everything about us.
Makes no sense. Honestly, it's like this could be like an elaborate practical joke played by our mother.
What the hell?
It's like, Kira, I really wanted to get you, you know?
Yeah.
These are just my friends from bridge class. Or
I figured we finally fix our broken relationship.
Yeah, through a fun game. Or like maybe... yeah, okay. Let's continue.
We tend to work alone. He shifts awkwardly. It might take some time for us to work with new people. I turn away, giving a small nod at this statement. Yeah. But still, you're right. I'll do my best to meet your expectations. He gives a soft laugh.
He's so nice.
Trying to lighten the mood.
He's almost too nice. It's almost on the verge of creepy.
Yeah, that's... I don't trust it.
Yeah.
He's trying to influence us as well, just not as directly. As the moment turns quiet, I... Number 1, suggest we head to the witness's house.
Yeah.
Number 2, find myself holding his gaze.
Oh, come on. Is everyone romanceable?
Yes. Number 3, thank him for helping to calm the situation. How do you feel about Nate, Marius?
Yeah, I was thinking, we just haven't seen that much of him. He's much nicer. He's kinder, right? But the game didn't describe his bulging biceps, so I'm not, like, I don't know. I need some ham in my vampire romance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, I don't know. I don't trust him quite yet. He seems nice and soft and...
Oh, yeah.
All that good stuff, but I don't know. I just haven't seen enough of him.
I need to go around shopping a bit more. It's also, if you're going to set this up, because what's going to happen is you're going to set up a love triangle, right? And maybe we should have, and like, who do you want to fight is the question, right? And like, we probably maybe should have given the game more sign that we're interested in Adam, just to have an interesting love triangle. Because obviously I want to see him fight someone, and I don't know who, but probably Tina is the one, right? And like Adam fighting, because let's face it, Tina is a werewolf. Let's just face it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, she's not normal. I bet she has magic powers. All right, let's head to the witness.
Okay. Shall we get going? I ask, grabbing up my things and heading to the door. Finally, Morgan mutters, already marching out of my office.
These people, are they all teenagers? They act like teenagers, except Nate.
I suspect they are, honestly. Yeah.
Maybe Kira is too.
I mean, we are...
World's greatest bald teen detective.
Wait. But we are a detective, so I assume that we have been a police officer for at least a few years.
Maybe hopefully. It's an honorary title.
Oh, God. We are the only detective of this entire town of 10,000 people. And
I think
it's an honor
that exists, though, right? Like teen firefighter. They don't call it that, I think, but like that's like a thing, right? They have that in Germany, like Freiwillige Jugendfeuerwehr, the youth firefighters.
I
youth
love
brigade. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. I love the idea that this is like, it's a Sunday and all the actual police people went home and we are just taking over the police station.
Well, that's Unit Bravo. Everyone is Bravo. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. Now, go back to school.
Okay. Let's assume we're an adult.
For now.
Yeah.
Finally, Morgan mutters, already marching out of my office. What's the address? We'll meet you there, Nate says, his gaze shifting to Morgan.
Wait, why are we not traveling in the same car?
I don't know.
No, it's okay. They probably have their own car.
Sure.
Not like they're going to use their amazing vampire speed to run there.
But why can't they take us? I guess we have to take our own. I don't know. What's the address? We'll meet you there, Nate says, his gaze shifting to Morgan, slamming open the glass door of the station.
I think what they're doing is Morgan is going to supernaturally run there really fast. So they want to know what the address is so that Morgan can check it out before we get there to make things safe. Because remember, they have to protect us. Yeah. I think that's what's going on. And I really like how the game keeps, signaling that subtly. Right? It hasn't forgotten that.
I hope that's it, and I hope it's not you being smarter.
Are you implying that I tend to overanalyze situations?
Vincent,
how dare you? It's like you don't know me at all.
Let's give the game the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say that's why that's happening. But Nate says, I'm not sure she'll travel well with company. I can't help but agree and turn to note down the address.
All right.
Here it is.
What is it? 123 Fake Street.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't say?
No.
Oh, I like details like that, though. Yeah.
He gives a wide smile and nods, glancing down at the paper. Again, not telling us what on... Okay.
No, I mean, it's okay. I guess it's not relevant. It's just a place.
As he reaches the doorway, I glance up at him, craning my neck all the way to his eyes. You seem a lot different to the others in your team. He gives
You don't say.
Yeah, it's also because he sounds like he's actually over 20.
He's an adult. He acts like an adult.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, that's the other problem. Why Adam isn't sexy? He's a teenager.
Is this just a group of teenagers and one adult, and he's like sort of making sure they aren't doing anything really stupid?
He's their minder.
Yeah, basically. Oh God.
Yeah.
He gives a chuckle, a deep sound that reverberates from his chest and seems to vibrate through the air and land on my skin.
Does it say that?
Yes.
Oh.
And land on my skin.
Yes. Nate.
Like a bird, like Adam.
You are quite obsessed with that bird metaphor. That metaphor did not sit well with you.
Yes, it did not. I'm more like them than I would care to admit.
Oh, I see what he means. He's talking about being a vampire.
Yes,
that's what he means.
Now stop overanalyzing. His voice wavers, and I frown as I'm sure I hear a tone of regret in his words.
I hope Kira never figures this out. I hope that we will be in book 3 of Wayhaven Chronicles, and Kira is still, well, my companions are a bit special, but...
Yeah, while Adam in the background is literally
drinking blood. She shot him like 5 times by now. He always regenerates. Well, he's got solid bones, you know. Some people are just built like that.
And his genes are just something else.
Yeah. So far, she has not picked up on this very obvious thing. But okay. I guess I wouldn't in real life.
No, probably not.
Like in Dresden Files, right? You suppress it.
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't make any sense, right? If you were a vampire, I wouldn't know.
Vampires aren't real, Vincent. Stop saying they're real. Yeah.
At the witness's house.
Yes, let's actually get into this.
Parking at the curb of the long plain street, I step out of my car and glance over the red brick building before me. I was about to say redneck building, and that was...
Don't say that, Vincent. Good thing you didn't say that.
Yeah. It's the apartment building attached to the alleyway where the victim was found. It doesn't look any cleaner or more pleasant from the front.
Okay, so it's close to the crime scene.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't smell bad, at least.
Is she again applying blood, or just a state of disarray of this area? That's dirty?
I think the latter.
Okay.
It doesn't smell.
No, but with the clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's okay.
Detective. I spin around at the sound of my title, watching as Nate and Morgan approach from around the corner. They both look over the building, too, apparently as unimpressed with it as I am. It's sad to think people have to live in these kinds of places, Nate says, genuine sympathy in his tone.
In red brick buildings?
Yes.
Okay.
They're terrible.
It's a bit basic, you know, just saying.
Yeah.
What a judgmental asshole. I no longer think Nate is sexy.
Whoa. Okay. Okay.
Okay, maybe I'm being a bit too judgmental.
Calm
myself.
Down over there.
But still, like, what I'm saying is that the description of the scene hasn't given me what they are seeing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's okay. Is it supposed to be a poor neighborhood? Is this what they're implying?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't look any cleaner or more pleasant from the front. So it's dirty, I guess, and unpleasant.
Yeah, I can work with it. It's okay.
Morgan shakes her head. It's not as bad as it could be. They should be thankful they have a place at all.
See what I mean? They're a bit judgmental.
Yeah, but they're also teenagers, so...
I guess we've established that. Okay.
And we can reply with, number 1, maybe you could show a little compassion. Number 2, true, I've been in some places rough enough to make this look like a blessing. Number 3, it's nice to know you are such an optimist. And number 4, we just ignore the comment.
I just want to ignore her forever. Morgan.
Do we do that?
I think so.
Okay. I shake my head, ignoring the comment. But when you shake your head, you're not ignoring the comment.
Yeah, you're giving a very clear response.
Yes.
Not what we agreed on, game.
I shake my head, ignoring the comment. So, Adam sent you along because you're good with witnesses, right?
Sure.
That was
the ripping out throats part. Yes, witness, talking stuff. Clearly, that's our deal.
I'm good at telling when people are lying, she replies, matter-of-factly. And then extracting the truth when they do. A hint of pride hangs on her words.
Does she mean torture? Extracting the truth?
Or magic bullshit vampire powers.
Yeah, it's mind reading, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Some vampires can do that.
Or just compelling them to tell the truth in some way.
Yeah, that's not quite as subtle as mind reading.
No.
In a way. But it gets the job done.
I mean, she says extracting the truth.
Yeah.
It might
really
be mind
nasty
reading.
way to put it.
Yeah. It sounds like the Inquisition.
Morgan is not a wholesome person.
No.
I don't get that sense at all.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, I was one block too far. Nate steps up between us, gesturing to the door on our right. This is the apartment block? Yeah, I reply, placing my focus back on work. Our witness is Mrs. Mudders. Hudders.
Hudders, okay.
65. Lives alone, low income. Do you know her? Nate asks. It's a small town. I'd like to contradict him, but it's true that I know most people in Wayhaven. If not personally, then by reputation. Still, right. I know nothing of this woman.
Wow, that's interesting.
Isn't Wayhaven a town of like 10,000 people? That's a lot.
That's you saying that?
No, yeah, that's me asking you.
I do not know the population of Wayhaven. I'm sorry.
I feel like that was established.
It probably was, and I forgot, Vincent. It's just like, okay, look, I have a hard time with numbers.
Yeah,
it's just qualitative works for me. It's a small town.
Yeah.
That's how it's saved in my brain.
No, I don't, I reply, while moving to the door and scanning the names beside buttons. I press the one marked Mrs. Frida Hudders.
Oh, can we press all the other buttons, please?
I'm afraid we can't do that.
No, okay, it's not that kind of game. No. I see.
The speaker crackles to life, an older female voice echoing from it. Yes, hello. Who is it, please? And we can reply, Number 1, hello, Mrs. Hudders. I'm Detective Langford. I hope to ask you some questions. Number 2, I'm with the police. Number 3.
Open the door.
Yeah.
I am the law.
Yes, exactly. My name is Kira Langford, and I'm with the police department. May I come in? And number 4, pizza delivery.
Come on.
We don't have to lie. There's no reason to lie here.
There really isn't, right? Except if she's the killer, and you don't want her to be prepared. But what is the chance, right?
I mean, we've already identified. Our police woman friend has already identified her as a witness and presumably at least talked to her.
Yeah, I agree. It's also, if we were playing Morgan here, I would totally tell her it's pizza. But we've kind of established that Kira is the straight guy in this, right? And she's now also in a position where she has to sort of project authority and leadership and as a role model for these two vampires, I guess.
Yeah, these 12-year-olds.
This is a non-choice. Like, we just say, I'm a detective. Langford, can I talk to you?
Okay. Hello, Mrs. Hudders, I call into the speaker. I'm Detective Langford. I was hoping to ask you some questions. Questions? Her voice becomes strained. I'm not sure I have need of a detective.
What? I'm not. This is not about a plumber. Like,
Yeah, I guess.
maybe she's a bit, demented,
possibly.
cognitively impaired.
It's about the murder, I continue, hoping to jog her memory. There's a pause, and I glance back over my shoulder at the others. Then finally there's a reply. Oh, you're with that lovely Officer Poname, Mrs. House chimes. Why didn't you say so? Come in. The door buzzes, and I grab the handle and yank it open. All of us heading inside.
She thinks we're Tina. How hilarious! This will be so hilarious.
No, I think, she knows, or she just remembered Tina, right? Oh, you're with that lovely Officer Poname.
Oh, she said that?
Yeah.
Well, we're not technically together, but we're close. She touches my shoulder sometimes.
That's the creepiest way you could put that.
I'm just stating a fact, okay? Because I keep track of such things.
I have a list. Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Inside, we travel through the first floor corridor until we reach apartment 6, where we find a woman waiting.
Oh, that gets a number now, but the street address was too much to us. Sorry, but please continue.
I see your point, yeah. Where we find a woman waiting in a doorway for us. She smiles wide, a line of very obvious false teeth on full display. You're the detective? I give a nod, moving aside my jacket to reveal the badge on my belt. She doesn't even glance at it, which is unsurprising, considering she already has to squint to see us. Mm-hmm. The heavy line of bright blue eyeshadow plastered onto her drooping lids probably doesn't help either, even if it does nicely match the color of her blue rinse hair.
This is a good description. I have a real picture of this woman in my head now.
Yeah, although, she's supposed to be 65, and I feel like this is describing someone at least 10 years older.
Yeah, but sometimes people, they look 30, but they are 20, or rather they look 40 and they're 30. Mm-hmm. Stuff like that.
Possibly.
Depends on your lifestyle, right?
Apparently she has a pretty wild life.
Yeah, you are what you eat. She ate a bunch of old people, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
She might be a vampire too. We don't know.
Look, there's really strange things afoot in Wayhaven. We'll get to it.
Yeah. These are my... I turn to look at the two agents beside me, then back at Mrs. Hudders. My colleagues.
Right.
It's as good a word as any to describe them.
Sure.
You're all very welcome, she says, holding out a pink, wrinkled hand decorated by heavy gold rings. I'm surprised don't weigh down her thin arms. I shake her hand, then follow her inside the small apartment. She leads us into the living room, the space bright and tidy, decorated in white wood and magnolia paint. I take a seat on the cream cotton sofa, and Nate moves to sit beside me, while Morgan lingers to one side.
Yeah,
of course she does.
Like, where's the cigarette, Morgan, huh?
It's about to come out. Oh, you're a rather handsome man, aren't you? Mrs. Hutter says to Nate, a chuckle to her words and a gleam in her eye. Yeah, she had a wild life. He simply smiles back and nods. Why, thank you. It's always nice to receive a compliment from a beautiful lady.
Nate is the perfect son-in-law.
Oh,
I think
God,
the old
yes.
lady, she has a daughter and she's trying to match her with Nate. That's what the vibe I'm getting.
Mrs. Hudders titters a giggle, waving a dismissive hand at him, but obviously pleased at the reply. Now then, my dears, she settles into the seat opposite us. What would you like to know about that terrible murder? And we can ask if you knew the victim, ask about crime in the area, ask about the night of the murder.
Ask about the night.
I agree.
Just want the facts.
Yes. I shuffle forwards, my knees nearly hitting the low, polished coffee table. I can completely imagine that room, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you remember much from the night of the murder? It was like any other night, really, she says, glancing down and frowning.
So there is a lot of murder in Wayhaven, I guess.
Yeah, which one, dear? Which one? There have been many. Nothing out of the ordinary. I watched some TV, almost fell asleep because, well, the show was so boring. I half smiled at her.
This little show called Twin Peaks.
There's nothing ever happens in that show.
There's just not enough romance on it, you know?
Yeah, just people eating breakfast and eating breakfast.
Drinking
and eating
coffee.
breakfast and drinking coffee, exactly.
It's really good coffee.
Yeah, would you like a cup? My gaze shifts sideways as Nate glances purposefully at Morgan, who eyes Mrs. Hudders before giving a stiff nod.
What are they on about?
Is she telling the truth, I assume?
Ah, okay.
I frown at the strange looks before focusing once again on the witness. Oh, this is the first time where we can actually ask the other options. So we can still... So the ask about the night of the murder is grayed out?
Mm-hmm. This is like an actual dialogue tree.
Wait. So she was proposed to us as a witness, and we just asked her about the night of the murder, and she says, it was a night like any other. And
yeah, she did not, in fact, describe the murder. Good point, Vincent. Yeah. So...
What did she witness?
What you have to understand about the people of Wayhaven is that they don't like getting to the point. Okay? Life is a bit slower in Wayhaven, and what others call beating around the bush, we just call pleasant living. You know, just relationships are so important.
I guess so, yeah. I mean,
you can't just get straight to the business.
Yeah. She's pretty straight getting to the business with Nate, so... Well... She knows her focus.
Yeah, I mean... It was kind of the answer to a different question, right? The question we could have asked would be, what did you do the night of the murder? Yeah. Then her answer would have been perfect. Mm-hmm. And I think, in my mind, that's just what we asked.
Sure.
And I'm thinking that, okay, what did you see will be the obvious last question that we will ask anyway.
Hopefully.
And now we get to pick the optional parts.
Okay.
What are the other optional parts, Vincent?
Ask if she knew the victim and ask about crime in the area.
Well, she sort of, she said, I don't know what she meant by every other night. So ask about other crime. And we can get this cleared up if this is a crime-ridden neighborhood, and it could have been just a random shooting like any other night, or like, which is impossible because we have established that it doesn't happen in Wayhaven. But you know, things have been known to get past Kira Langford.
That would be so fantastic. With a night like any other, like at least 3, 4, maybe 5 shootings. I lost count.
Well, maybe nobody just cares about the poor quarter, which this clearly is.
Yeah, I just turned on the TV and turned it really loud, and that was my night.
Like they don't want to deal with this place so much they don't even say the name of the address. Like that's the level of how do you say, pushing stuff away that we're at here. So yeah, ask her about the crime in the area.
Can you tell me about crime in the area? I asked, sitting back on the sofa slightly. There isn't much around here normally, is there? Oh gosh, no, she cries, throwing her hands in the air. Even a woman like me feels safe enough all through town.
With all the gold on her hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nice sentiment, but not exactly helpful.
Well,
once again, I'm distracted by Nate shifting his focus to Morgan, who once more stares at Mrs. Hudders before nodding sharply. I'm about to ask what exactly is going on when the elderly woman frowns deep. There was... she begins, before shaking her head and smiling. No, it's probably nothing.
Oh, it's totally something.
It's Vincent. The first thing that ever happened.
Come on.
Informed. Come on.
Well, we got some smoke on the horizon. We have to investigate this.
We all focus on her much more intently. Please, Mrs. Hudders, go on, Nate encourages.
I bet it's a red herring.
Yeah, offering a soft smile with his words.
Uh-huh.
Well, I doubt it's useful, she shrugs. But I'm certain I heard someone singing in the alleyway.
Oh, okay. Not what I expected.
Yeah, okay, we're getting somewhere, maybe.
Yeah.
Singing, I repeat. I don't know what I expected her to say, but certainly wasn't that. Well, not singing exactly, more like chanting, Morgan cuts in. The old woman points at her and nods.
Okay.
Exactly.
First useful word out of your mouth, Morgan.
Yes.
I was going to say Vincent, I'm sorry.
Wow, okay.
I don't know where that came from. You don't have Morgan vibes at all.
Uh-huh. I'm going to stand over there.
Although, come to think of it, that cigarette you're constantly... Anyway. Jokes.
I'm just sitting over here smoking constantly.
Vincent is actually a chain smoker, everyone. We just don't show it.
Yeah, that's why, because the camera would only see like a cloud of smoke on this side of the table.
Uh-huh. That's how you get that smooth radio voice.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mark says it's chanting. She's probably right.
Yeah. Also, I feel like this is one of the bits of information that they had and we didn't, and maybe they should have.
Yeah, it feels like it
shared.
fits. It fits in with their like psychological profile of this killer that they probably have.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just not telling us because they're being meanies and bullies.
Yeah.
And it sucks. I just kind of don't want to work with them, but like Nate is so sexy and I don't know.
Yeah.
Mom said we should.
Yeah, and even though we have a difficult relationship with her.
Yeah. So I guess we'll continue.
The old woman points at her and nods. Exactly. A mumbling chant of some kind.
Okay.
The two agents once again share a tense look.
This is so aggravating. They are teenagers.
Yes. Before Nate's brow shifts into a heavy frown.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Mrs. Hudders. That's all we need, he says suddenly, rising from his place. He holds out a hand, which the old woman eagerly grips and shakes. We won't take up any more of your time.
What? But we're not done here, Nate. Now you're doing the Adam thing. I thought you're the good guy.
God damn it.
Okay.
He slips his hand out of the woman's grasp before striding over to Morgan. They then both march out of the apartment, leaving me on the sofa staring wide-eyed after them.
Okay.
I scramble to my feet, thanking her as well before having to nearly jog out of the apartment to catch up with them. They are already almost halfway down the hallway.
Like what could this possibly have told them that I didn't know before?
It's that it is exactly as they suspected, I guess.
But it's like, okay, but what went through their mind? Did they have like a portfolio of possible killers that is responsible for this murder series, including targeting Kira Langford next, possibly? And right, they have a list of many, but they, in order to differentiate and single in on one of them, a key detail is missing because one of them chants and the other doesn't. And this now cleared it up, and now they know it's Chant Monk, the super killer. Like, you know what I mean? It
might well be.
I wonder if this gets cleared up. It might.
Also, I'm kind of upset that we just have to let this happen. Like they just did that, and we couldn't.
It's frustrating.
It's just like, come on.
But I do give it to the game. I do like this. That this really feels like it's a very emasculating experience. Like they have. All of them by now, except for the actual teenage girl, Farah, or whatever her name was. They have all sort of...
Probably like 8 or something.
Well, let's not go there. But they've all established their authority, or sort of, how do you say?
Dismissed our authority.
Dismissed ours and been sort of patronizing to us. Even Nate, in a sort of not mean way, he sort of wasn't an ass about it, but he still did the same thing. Yeah. And it really sets it up as a that might be a nice dramatic arc. How do we establish our authority? That I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's actually confront them.
Yeah.
They are already almost halfway down the alleyway, and we can say, number one, hey, Is someone going to tell me what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Number 2. Remember me, the detective, the one in charge of this case?
That's good. Keep the humor. It's the only thing you got, Kira, at this point.
Yeah. Or just shoot him again. Number 3. Could you please tell me what it is you obviously know? Or number 4. Leaving so abruptly like that was a bit rude.
I like 2 or 3. What do you think?
I don't know.
I feel like both of them. Let's take 2. We've been jokey before. And it worked then.
Remember me? I call, the 2 agents pausing and looking at me. I'm the detective, the one in charge of this case. I stride towards them, a couple of residents peering out of their doors and down the bare-walled hallway at the noise.
That's a nice detail.
So, if you know something, maybe now is a good time for the group to share.
Yeah.
I don't answer to you, Morgan sneers.
Oh, come on, Morgan. Are we going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Are we really going to do this, Morgan?
I've shot Adam, and I'm not afraid to shoot you too. Morgan, go tell the others what we found, Nate says, quick to interrupt the sudden hostile remark. Morgan shakes her head before turning on her heel and marching from the building. Nate is the one that walks back towards me, an apologetic smile on his face. I'm sorry, detective.
I'm sorry, sir. Sorry.
He says, honesty in his tone. He shifts slightly. We didn't think we would get anything useful out of Mrs. Hudders. I cross my arms across my chest and quirk a brow. Really? The idea of chanting was your last straw? That's... My phone gives a shrill ring, interrupting Nate. Saved by the bell, I mutter, shoving the phone to my ear. Hello? Detective?
It's Verda.
It's Verda.
He has a knack for always calling at inopportune moments.
He says, making me pause. I'm calling about the blood sample you found at the warehouse. Nate takes a wide steps forward, a sudden tension making his whole body stiff. Blood?
Here we go, Vincent. We were hoping for this.
And again, it seems Nate has supernatural hearing, right?
Yeah, which he probably does. I'm willing to believe that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I reply, my brows raised in surprise as he can hear the conversation so clearly through the phone.
Yes.
I had a run-in with some strangers up at the potential murder site. One of them was injured, so I managed to collect a blood sample. I frown at Nate's reaction. The color drains from his face and he swallows hard. Are you all right, Agent? I ask. He shakes his head and attempts to smile at me, but I can see it's masking his worry. I'm fine.
It is so aggravating that Kira is so clueless.
Yeah.
Because we know what's going on.
Yeah. I shake my head. Keep going, Verda. I like that he shakes his head, smiles at me, says something, and then we shake our head.
There's a lot of head shaking.
There's a lot of head shaking.
I mean, I was going to say maybe she's just trying to get the hair out of her eyes, but that's not going to happen. That's not what's going on.
Well, it's quite remarkable, but it seems to be similar. Near on the same, in fact, to the strange blood in the victim. My eyes widen.
Wow.
What? I don't know who this sample is from, Detective, but whoever they are should either be very ill or very dead. He pauses. Or undead.
He says... I was going to make a joke about that, but now I don't need to.
You can't just casually throw that in there.
I love Verda.
Yeah, he's so great.
What are the possible responses here?
That can't just be coincidence. It's number one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Number two, great. Now I have zombies strolling about town.
Okay, that's funny.
And number three, that seems somewhat unlikely, Vera. Are you sure the tests are right?
reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the first one? That might be more interesting.
That can't just be coincidence.
None of them are interesting. Let's just pick number 2 because it has zombies.
I have zombies strolling about town. Great, I say with a groan, rubbing a hand over my face. Now I have zombies strolling about town. Nate splutters, coughing, and I can't help but notice he seems to
We don't use that word here, Officer Langford.
Yeah, that's actually really rude.
Yeah.
He seems to be trying to cover an amused smile with his hand. I brush off the odd reaction, too confused by all of this to think on it further.
And don't tickle him, it'll disable his powers.
True. That's it.
Once the giggling starts, it rarely stops, so don't let it get too far.
I love that the book here literally says, I just stopped thinking about it. Like, come on, man, come on. He just said I'm dead.
Oh well, it's probably nothing.
Yeah. How very human of you. At least it's something to maybe follow up. Werner suggests. Any amusement, and Nate drains quickly away. Are you certain this is something you should be investigating further? He asks. I'm sure this is all just coincidence.
Huh.
It's better than no lead at all, which is what I had before. Well, except the chanting you were so offended by, I reply. Nate glances away. Yes, of course, you're right. I shake my head. Again? At his less than enthusiastic reply, and return to the conversation with Werner. Thank you. Let me know when you get anything else. Will do, the doctor replies. I end the call and slip my phone back in my pocket. Maybe we should discuss all of this back at the station, Nate suggests. I give a nod. The stay is starting to get too weird to handle.
Okay, so...
Yes? What's your problem? Huh?
So...
Talk to me about that.
Several. Number 1 being that we got sent out here because we were to interrogate or at least question a witness to the murder that happened here yesterday. We chatted to her about the neighborhood for a while, which is, I'm glad to say, apparently crime-free.
Yeah.
And then we heard about chanting and abruptly left her apartment and just never, talked to her about the actual thing she probably witnessed, which must have been something, because otherwise she wouldn't be called a witness.
I'm starting to think this might be like just a thing that you don't talk about the dead and that word.
Maybe it's too insensitive.
Yeah, it's just you can never talk about violence in any way. Maybe that's
feel
just
like
a thing.
I really still have that theory in my head that this isn't a real police department. It's just teenagers play acting a police department.
And they are terrible.
And they're like, yeah, we have a witness and you have to talk to her, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, about what? Well, I don't know, just a crime. We did that. But listen up. That was chanting.
Ooh, chanting?
Oh yes.
I gotta go.
So, okay, let's just put a pin in it. That's okay. I'm not gonna be a dick about it and keep harkening on this point. It's just, training is costly, and the Wayhaven Police Department, there's room for improvement. Let's just call it what it is. It's not it's not AAA police work going on in this town, but no one's expecting that. It's fine. But surely the next step will be to, since there is a blood-borne, very possibly contagious disease in this town, we will at least blood test the entire police department just to make sure they're all not infected, right? Including special agents.
And probably
that's never going to happen, but that's my fantasy. That's what I would like to happen.
That would be wise.
Yeah, and then we can sort of reveal these guys to be who they are. Anyway,
but I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh my god, this game's too tense, Vincent. I'm so worked up. I'm sorry.
Well, Good thing we are back in the office.
Yeah, I think it's a good time though to take a break, and now next time we will, I guess, discuss with them what the hell is going on with the chanting, which I do want to know. We're not done here, Vincent. We're like, I have some questions.
Me too.
That need answering. Okay. So thanks for playing with me, Vincent. Thank you,
my pleasure.
dear viewers, for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You can like the video, you can subscribe to the channel, and you can leave comments. We always enjoy those. You can also follow us on Twitter @makes_play, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.